First of all, I'd like to reiterate Joe's thanks to the Spooners for putting on this beautiful day. I think everyone here would agree that it's been wonderful. While I'm at it, I'd also like to thank them for all the chocolate chip cookies that number in the thousands that I've eaten these past 20 years. It's been a delicious journey. John, way to lock us into a lifetime supply of those cookies. So now we're family, but this really isn't something new. Back in '91, Hallie, Alex, Mary, Mikey, and I would go in the backyard and pretend that we were brothers and sisters and that we had no parents. We called this game Orphans, and we would go around and pretend to look for food and clothing and shelter. And it turns out we were pretending to be homeless. But anyways, enough about that. I'm here to talk about John. What a day to be John Coughlin. But then it seems like there's a lot of good days to be John. John's had it pretty good. High school football player, good enough to get a few looks from some colleges. Goes to Miami, becomes captain of the rugby team. Graduates, goes to Chicago, plays for the Chicago Lions, one of the premier rugby teams in the country. Moves to Cincinnati, where it's a hotbed of Miami rugby alumni who were salivating when they heard John Coughlin was returning to Southwest Ohio. It was the second coming. Is it any coincidence that John Coughlin and Jesus Christ share the same initials? Glory be to John. Another coincidence, Jesus was a carpenter and then started healing people. John was a carpenter and now does medical sales, also in the field of healing. Like the big JC, John is selfless. Just earlier this year, St. Ed's ran a campaign to raise money for the school. And they sent out an email with a list of people who had already donated, and John forwarded this to Joe, to my dad, to Dan Brenninghouse, and to myself. And he said, Dan Brenninghouse is on this list. We need some Coughlins on here. First of all, Dan, nice job on donating. And then you think, yeah, we need some Coughlins on this list. How could such a strong St. Ed's family have no representation? Then you scroll down the list, and there's John's name. Thanks be to John. Now, it's no secret that the Spooners and Coughlins are close. Had either family built an addition, we would have been sharing utilities. Talk about a modern family. So obviously, when John and Hallie got engaged, a little bit of a big brother instinct kicked in, and I knew I had to send John a message. So the next day, I broke his nose. That was a warning shot, John. Don't screw this up. Truthfully, though, it was an accident during a rugby match, but when John tells this story, he leaves the accident part out. So now all the Cincinnati guys call John Cogs and me Evil Cogs. But like a good big brother, when John heard him calling me that, he left town. Thanks to you, John. Now, am I exaggerating when I make John out to be such a perfect person? I don't know, when I asked my dad what I should talk about tonight, he said, well, I don't know, but it better be good. He is the favorite child. I made that up. But that's not really such a stretch. Case in point. Got a check from my parents for my birthday a few weeks ago. Thank you, Mom and Dad. I appreciate it. But there was also a second check for twice the amount for John's bachelor party. I don't know what my mom thought that money was going to go towards at a bachelor party, but I'm the one wearing some nice new shoes, so I guess we'll never know. I joke about John being so perfect, but truthfully, God has blessed John, and Hallie's just another one of those things to go right in his life. In fact, the day after John and Hallie got engaged, we had a little cookout at my house, and most of the Spooners and Coughlins were there. And right in the middle of it, huge rainbow stretches clear across the sky. And if that's not a sign of a higher power approving of this union, I don't know what is. So, not one to argue with the man upstairs, I say we raise a glass to John, Hallie, and a broken nose. Don't forget that part, John. I wish I could say these words are mine, but Mikey Spooner said it best at the bachelor party when he said, "Everyone has those friends that they consider family. Well, we're just making it official." So to John and Hallie, may you continue to be lucky and blessed, and when you guys have a little girl and some neighbor boy moves in next door, keep a close eye on them.
Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy your dinners.